my house was okay. Yeah. You don't pay the premium?
That's how it works eventually.
Is that a new hat, Neil? Maybe. I was thinking about dyeing my hair orange for the next meeting,
Call this regular session to order, Wednesday, October 3rd. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, before I open it up for visitor comments, okay, I got a little statement here. October 1st marked the first anniversary of the Mandalay Bay shooting, the deadliest mass shooting in U.S. history, killing 58 people and injuring 850. If not for our first responders, the death toll would have been higher. Y'all saved lives on that day of terror. Chief Greenway and all the other first responders in Las Vegas, thank you. And now I'd like to have a moment of silence for the victims and their families, please. And again, thank you. Thank you. Yep. We're here for you. Okay? That goes for all of our first responders. Know that I'm always here. May not completely understand, but I will try to show empathy, and I'm a good listener. So, okay, visitor comments.
I thought you were going to read all that.
Well, you could read it like birdcage flies.
Yeah.
It's not for me, it's for private citizens.
We're not being served, right?
No, no,
Thank you, Maureen.
I am not a lawyer.
Thanks.
My name is Morris Malakoff. I am from Scappoose. Member of the St. Helen City Council, staff, citizens in attendance, and those viewing out on the live stream. I'm not here today as a representative of my employer, the Chronicle County Country Media, but as a private citizen and a practicing journalist. Behavior by a person in your charge concerns me gravely. In today's political climate, when the President of the United States has been assailing my profession daily in the realm of fake news and liars, I'm even more distressed by what I'm about to recount to you. Through all the attendant comments surrounding the controversy and the planning and execution of this year's Halloween Town festivities, the words of Tina Curry referring to the media, particularly the Chronicle and our competitor, the Spotlight, have thrown gasoline on the simmering embers that are scorching our community and cohesiveness and collective spirit. We live in a society where discourse is encouraged. In fact, it's enshrined in the Constitution and our Bill of Rights. As a member of the working press, we tend to have thick skins. I've been in this business off and on for 50 years and have been the target of my share of slings and arrows. I have also engaged in intelligent, rational conversation with many individuals who see the world diametrically different from me. We agree to disagree and move forward. We care about our community. We just have differing ways of how to accomplish the good. As to Miss Curry, we have heard her refer to the spotlight as the dim light on KOHI broadcast. She has, using a nom de guerre of Northwest Wine, NW Wine, profanity-laced rants on social media repeated the dim light reference as well as for referring to the Chronicle as the comical. I'm submitting with this testimony screenshots of those conversations. The fact is, you're paying many taxpayer dollars and handing important responsibilities to an adult who behaves like a 14-year-old brat. While social media is admittedly a wild west where seemingly anyone can be whatever they want and behave however they want, Ms. Curry, at least in her current role, in the name of professionalism in our community, forgoes that option. Ms. Curry is a contractor to the city with the trappings of a city employee, a high-ranking one at that. She has a city-issued business card with a city logo, a space in City Hall, and to the average person would appear to be a part of the city government. Appearances and perceptions mean a lot in this world. The appearance she is giving is that of a Rasputin-like character with undue influence in City Hall. I am assuming that as civic leaders, you not only desire professional behavior from yourselves and those in City Hall, you demand it. That includes not addressing people in a demeaning fashion, undermining local businesses with threats and derision, and acting as if our community is a stage for personal gain at the cost of those of us who live and work here every day. If you would not tolerate this behavior from your kids, your coworkers, or true city employees, then why tolerate it from Ms. Curry? We, the press, have been accused by her of being a divisive force in the community. We are not. We are reporting on a division not of our making. We are covering a classic power struggle that now entwines both the civic festival and an upcoming election. Reporting that is our duty and proper role. Beating on the press is an attempt at distraction from the issues in front of the community and the flaws and successes of Halloween Town on behalf of Ms. Curry's agenda and reputation. It has become a familiar tactic in today's world. I can honestly tell you that we, the Chronicle and the Spotlight, are not in collusion. We develop and source our stories separately, and to be honest, I know the Spotlight staff my site, but I've never spoken to them, nor they to me. Ms. Curry has accused our coverage as being done to foment uproar and division in the name of profits. The Chronicle is a sponsor of parts of Halloween Town, even if in Ms. Curry's world our name is never to be spoken. We are active promoters of the event while being accused of being detractors. To the best of my knowledge, our coverage has not changed our readership numbers or our advertising numbers, though I suspect Ms. Curry is now one of our more avid readers. Personally, I'm an hourly employee. There's no financial gain in this for me. I assume the same is true for my competitors. We are all passionate journalists. While the Pamplin Group and Country Media are competitors commercially, that is on the business side, selling advertising, newspapers, and internet clicks, as reporters, we strive to be first with an accurate and compelling story. That is our motivation in our newsrooms. Across the board, we take our role in this society seriously, no matter who is signing our paychecks. Collectively, be it in print, broadcast, or digital, we are observers and documentarians of our communities who strive for the truth and to inform our readers of what is happening around them. Be it a garden sale, high school sports events, or political retreat here at City Hall. We provide the basis for those discussions required in a healthy democracy, be they in a council meeting, a cafe, or over the fence in your neighborhood. We do not make the news, we report it. The bottom line is that Mrs. Curry is your problem. She is your agent. You own her and her contract. It is on you to be stewards of her professional behavior and to lead by example. Ms. Curry and the city of St. Helens owe each of us as individuals, corporations, and part of the community a sincere and public apology. We deserve better. You deserve better. The people of St. Helens, Columbia County, and the region deserve better. Remember, long after she has left town with our tax dollars in her pocket, we will all still be here, reporting and reading the good and bad of our community in a never-ending attempt to build better lives and opportunities for everybody. We are not the enemy. We are part of the broader community and have been so for more than a century. We are as vital as first responders, street lights, local businesses, community nonprofits, and even the spirit of Halloween. Thank you.
just curious what the date is on these screenshots.
They're all in the last 3 weeks. I can get you the date specific on the ones you don't have.
Be within the last week and a half?
2 weeks.
Okay, so I will say this. I did meet with your editor, Frank. I have talked to Miss Curry. And it's kind of difficult to sit up here and hear you say you're as a citizen, but you also talk about being a reporter, which you are a public figure as well. What you report on has as much as influence as we do sitting up here as elected officials. So that being said, people have their opinion of me and are entitled to their opinion of me as they see fit, because that's my job. Any other visitor comments?
Howard Blumenthal, City of St. Helens. My comments to you are about the traffic flows that might appear we're supposed to be having. More about it. A week and a half, 2 weeks ago, I was referred to call Tina Curry, which I said that was kind of ridiculous. And my problem is that I hear that we're going to be diverting traffic for possibly the next 3 weeks.
It's not on. Did you get more or so? Okay. Oh, yes.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. But my concerns are with the fact that I hear that they're going to be blocking off a lot over the next few weekends, the Old Town area, so that a lot of the cars are going to be, if you want to get to the restaurants and stuff at this end of town, you're going to have to go up over the top of Nob Hill. And I mentioned to at least 2 different city employees over the last couple of weeks about the fact that we have a couple of what I consider traffic concerns in our neighborhood if you're going to be detouring traffic up through there. At the intersection of 4th or 2nd and Tualatin, the St. Helens apartment building, we've recently started having people that park on Tualatin on the pavement, and they're real close to the intersection. So any car that comes up there a big chunk of the day has to go to the wrong side of the street to make the corner. If you're talking about having all this traffic from that end of town go up over there over the next couple of weeks, I think we need to think about, is there really parking that's supposed to happen? I know with Jacob, if he was here, that's been kind of a question over the years up there on top of Nob Hill, is if it's legal to be parking in those areas. If we're detouring traffic, I know we do it over the 4th of July, but everyone's trying to go one direction. Now we're talking about trying to have people go 2 directions. I really think that somebody needs to look at that. If
Well, that is 2 directional. That street that you're talking about is 2 directional.
Tualatin? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, if you have a
And
car
second.
parked there, it's one
Yes,
car at a time.
I hear what you're saying. So
Okay.
we'll have our police run up there and see if they're parked illegally.
You know, that's the big question. I don't know if they are or aren't,
Yeah.
but it just seems a little crazy at an intersection.
Yep.
The other one is at 356 on South 4th, you have a laurel that is growing into the road just over a crest of a hill. It's so bad that they don't even, there's about 15 feet, they don't even put the fog line on it because this thing is sticking out into traffic. Anything much more than a small pickup truck starts to go closer to the double yellow line over the crest of the hill. And if you got a school bus, if we're going to have any type of deliveries or anything,
Yep.
because more traffic's going to be going there. It's also, when you're going up that section of 4th Street, you literally only have this much of a shoulder for pedestrian traffic. If you're walking on that side of the street, you are 100% blocked from seeing any oncoming traffic as you walk into the middle of the lane almost to go around this laurel. Also, there's a driveway there. When people come out that driveway, they're making a 180-degree turn. They have absolutely no vision down the hill because of that laurel. So if there's something we could do about that, I'm a tree hugger, but a laurel is not really what we like to call a tree in my world. The other concern would also be that I've been meaning to talk to you about for a while is at the intersection of 4th and Old Portland. The 25-mile-an-hour sign is just before the crosswalk, and most people coming around that corner are going so fast, they never see the crosswalk sign or that 25-mile-an-hour sign. I really think that needs to be moved above that corner so that you can see that as you're coming down there. It's been getting so bad lately that I have a small utility trailer or my camper that there's almost no way sometimes for me to pull out of there without having somebody slow down, because you can stare to the left, you start to pull out, and they just come around that corner so fast that, I also wonder if maybe we could get that speed reader board back. The city used to have a reader board and put it in that area so people can see how fast they're coming around that corner. I've seen some people probably upwards of 30 to 40 miles an hour come down there and make a left, So,
Yeah, because it is 30 right up to that point.
yeah, and that's it. Usually, too,
Yep.
the 25-mile-an-hour sign is much farther down, so if you moved it up farther, it'd be right across from where it does go from 25 to 30 going up the hill, which I think would be
I see Chief Greenway's.
Yes, we'll, thank you again for bringing this to our attention. I would ask only that if you have concerns, please reach out to us. You don't have, we appreciate you coming to the meeting, but we're 24/7. Call us. This is the business that we're in, and this is, we solve problems. So we'll take care of 2nd and Tualatin and ensure that there's smooth traffic flow, no illegal parking. Immediately check on 356 South 4th for that tree in the road, because that's concerning. And then we'll have some speed enforcement at 4th and Old Portland Road and see if there's anything we can do as far as a engineering study for the signage there. But again, thank you for bringing us. I'll follow up personally, make sure it's done. But again, for you and everybody else, call us so we can address this without you having to, come down here. We'd like to get on it as soon as there's an issue.
Okay.
So thank
Can
you,
I
sir.
also mention that there's an app for the police department where you can actually take a picture and send it to them along with an explanation.
Okay.
And we also have First Thursday tomorrow. It's beginning at the library at 7 p.m. If you want to, participate in that and bring any other concerns, but again, not to put you on the spot, we're appreciative of the fact that you're here voicing your
I
opinion.
enjoy coming down and talking. And
I agree.
They all know me fairly well here, so.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Okay,
Mr.
thank
Mayor.
you.
Thanks, Howard. Okay, other visitor comments.
Hello, I'm going to, first, Frank Brandon, 330 Tualatin Street, and I'm going to expand on this, as opposed to calling to you. I live on Tualatin between 3rd and 4th, and every 4th of July, everybody's downtown, it's all routed out past me. Right, after the fireworks, I sit on my porch for like an hour and a half till all the traffic is gone, so that in case the people who are throwing smokes out there, they start a fire, I got a bucket of water, there's old fireworks, I go out and pick up the beer cans that are left. There's always somebody, some knucklehead trying to hot rod through that crowd of people. So now we're gonna have, on the weekends, throughout this month, again, a lot of traffic going up that street, up from downtown, up Cowitz, 2nd, Tualatin, and then down 4th. I've never seen, and I lived here 6 years, on 4th of July evening, when people are leaving, never seen a traffic police officer up there. So after the pumpkin is lit down here and everybody decides to go home, if they all go home at once, it sure would be nice. So just to see somebody up there, because there's always some, like I say, knucklehead going, trying to go faster than everybody else, and the crowds are having a great time. Most everybody's happy, and there's always some wise asses.
And on the 4th, we could just put at least a barricade going up to one side. Let it be if you want to come out, or locals can go out the back way, but we could put a barricade right down here by Jilly's, and that would keep people from going up the hill.
Well, but that's how they have to leave from downtown.
No, it's not. We have,
Well,
we
okay,
prefer them to take Old Portland Road and take Plymouth.
Well, let's put it
That's
this
where
way.
they're supposed to be going.
Yeah, let's put it.
It's
say that
designed
at least
that way.
1,000 cars go by my house in that hour after the fireworks.
And then Columbia and Deer Island get used quite a bit too.
Yeah, no, that one
Yeah.
I get totally.
Yep.
But anyway, it turns that area,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of people who live up there, as I'm sure.
I live on Deer
Howard will
Island
make-
Street, and I feel you for 4th of July, because they come up over here on Riverside Drive,
Yeah.
and they line that whole bank up here. And Deer Island Street is just as crazy on
Yep.
the 4th.
And I'm up on 3rd, right around the corner from you.
Yeah, and every day, daily, I'm coming home from work traffic. There's always people who are going way faster than we should have. We should have like
But-
one of those speed bump things that
Well,
crosses the
we've been
whole-
trying to reroute traffic, as Mayor says, so that area is avoided.
It's kind of hectic. Anyway, that's all.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you.
Hopefully, people will start following.
Okay, other visitor comments?
Brady Preime, 195 Clark Street. So I just wanted to comment about number one, the papers. The papers have been pretty non-existent in their actual coverage of the Halloween Town events. Both the Spotlight and the Chronicle have really not made any comment about some of the pretty incorrect lies that have been published by Jim Stone in relation to Halloween Town regarding Tina Curry. And they both have been negligent, in my opinion. I read the entire packet of documents that were published from the city council, that were sent to the city council, as well as regarding Tina Curry. And there was not a single email that was sent by them that was disrespectful from Tina Curry. It did not happen. In addition, Jim Stone was very public in saying that they watched a video where Tina Curry had a meltdown of profanity at city council on April 19th. April 19th is a Thursday. You do not meet on Thursdays. And there was no response from either paper or, frankly, from the city council about that being incorrect, and was just, frankly, a flat-out lie. And when somebody says that about a contractor for the city, I expect that, number one, the papers would report on that because it was a public document. And number two, I think the city should send out a press release to say, and you don't have to get into the middle of it, but to say, we don't meet on April 19th. We'd meet on April 18th. The April 18th meeting was recorded. No such profane statement happened, and no, we did not delete any videos from our website because it didn't happen. And if nobody says anything and it's out there, then people believe it. And it needs to be known that that, in fact, did not happen. There's also a petition that I wanted to comment on about removing Stonehenge, and I thought about doing my own petition to say that we want it, but I really don't think I need one because my petition is the 40,000 people that show up for the event. So unless you get a signatures with 40,000 people, it's clear that the majority of people want the event. Not to mention the more than $40,000 of ticket sales that you've already had for the Ferry Festival. I personally am not that thrilled with Halloween Town as a person. But that doesn't mean that I think that I should be able to have my personal feelings about it wreck everybody else's fun. Clearly, people like this event. Before Tina Curry came to this town, we spent our tourism dollars, and they were wasted. Nothing happened to them. Since Tina Curry has come, she's turned that $120,000 into an event for this town. I mean, it is put this town on the map. And she is not in charge of being publicity for the city. That's not her job. Her job is tourism. And as that job, her job is to get people into this town. And there is no question at all that she has done that. And she has done that, to me, phenomenally. And to say that she's not doing her job, to me, is absolutely ridiculous. Because I'd like to see what anyone else has done with that money and how they got people into this town. Going back to the removal of the Stonehenge, I find it ironic that one of the person that's mainly not liking the fixture lives on a floating home, which is supported by foam. So it's sort of hypocritical to be complaining about Stonehenge being made out of styrofoam when in fact their house is being kept up by stone. And of course, what they do with that foam is they coat it, which is the plan to preserve our structure of Stonehenge, and then it won't. And of course, most of the foam that's being removed already is being vandalized. So that's another fact that I think should be made. It's not just falling apart, people are vandalizing it. And it's sad that there's a few people that are doing that, but I don't know if we need to have more security or if there needs to be cameras and you need to prosecute those people. But again, regardless of how I personally feel about Halloween Town, for this city, it is a great event, and we need to be thanking Tina for putting on that event. We also need to thank Tina for the first time, and I don't know how long, that she turned 13 nights into breaking even instead of losing money. I mean, it's like everything she touches turns a profit, and those people that are complaining simply just don't know. Is she always the nicest, warmest person? No, that's not her personality. Her personality is to get the job done, and she does that. And she does that, you know, in spades more than anyone else. And for us to even, I mean, to me, she's the best thing that's happened to this town and tourism. And for anyone to complain about her, they just don't know the facts. And just because there's a few people, a handful of people screaming in the streets about it, doesn't mean that this council, number one, should not defend the facts and put out a press release about Gemstone, and number two, that you would ever think about replacing her.
Okay, I'm not going to get into a bunch of the behind the scenes stuff on this whole thing because it's the past, and the past is the past. And my conversation with the editor, the Chronicle, was, let's move on. Let's just move on. Same with my contracted help over there, was let's just move on. We have a city to run here. We're working on a multi-million-dollar waterfront. That meeting's coming up October 17th for those who would like to meet the developer and hear how far we are going today and the timeline that it's set out to be. I encourage you to show up. If you have an issue, come directly to me. Do not talk to Tina Curry. If you're really that involved in this, come directly to the mayor, okay? I've already put that out there year or so ago. And everybody wants to play the game. And you're playing games, and it's flat out stupid. This is a good event for the whole county. Let's get over it and let's move on. I'm not going to point fingers at either side, and I'm not going to put anybody's name out there. And I didn't for a long time. So that being said, I'm done. If you want to talk to me personally, I will give you an honest answer. Okay? So, any other visitor comments? And you can take that public in your paper. That's exactly it. Come to the mayor. My cell phone's always on me. 1-503-1653. I do return phone calls, don't I, Morris? Nicole? Yes, yes. Okay. Brady, do I? Well, for your radio show. For your radio show. I'm coming on his radio show October 12th. He also offered Al to come on it, too. October 12th.
What time is the meeting on the 17th?
It's 6 o'clock. Sorry about that. Yeah, please do show up. Yep. Council chambers, before our meeting. Hopefully an hour should cover it. He's pretty good. He'll have stuff and projects that he's done, and we'll talk about ours. Any other visitor comments?
I've got a point of clarification on Brady's request for what we do in terms of responding to inaccurate accusations in editorials or in reports. What were you talking about? Were you talking about the editorials as people writing into the papers, or were you talking about the papers reporting? Which one is it?
I think both. I mean, if there is.
Brady, come on up and get on the mic because I have to have you on record.
Trying to respond to that, to what your specific request was.
And I've actually said this, frankly, to both editors as well. I contacted Frank and I contacted Daryl. It's not so much that I had a problem with the reporting that they did. It was the lack of reporting. The Spotlight, as you know, published the letter from Gemstone where they made the accusation. I mean, and some of the stuff is, like he said, she said, you can't prove it. But some of the stuff that's out there, like the April 19th meeting, you can prove. You can say, did this meeting happen? And not only did Jim Stone say that they heard about it, they said they watched it themselves. It didn't happen. And when that is out there and that becomes a public document, I think that the city has an obligation to report it, to say this did not happen. There was no April 19th meeting. And that you need to send out a press release. You need to send it to the paper. You need to send it to Kohai. You need to read it in city council and said there was no April 19th
I will
meeting.
just say, I read that email, and personally, I knew it wasn't true. I've never heard her come and do a bunch of profanity in our meeting, in my meeting.
And you don't meet on Thursdays.
I know.
And
Well, no, I do know that.
but I mean, but the thing is nobody has said that. No, I haven't heard a single word that didn't happen. And I had people come to me and say, "Well, that must have happened." And I go, "No,
No, that absolutely did not
it
happen.
did not happen."
It
But
did
if
not
you
happen.
say nothing,
Yes.
and it's there, and people are reading it, they believe it to be true.
Yep.
And so that's where I'm saying that you have an obligation to put it out there, put out a press release, and say, this did not happen. This is a lie. It did not happen. Because if you don't, then people assume it's to be true. Because it's been published in the paper.
Yep.
And so I think that's what I mean is that. And if someone writes a letter to the editor, for example, and says that there's a salary that's not a salary, then I also think that you should say, we've made this clear. This is the contract. And for this amount of money, these are the services that they get. This is not a salary. And those people that are saying that are just plain wrong.
Yeah, that's true. They're wrong.
Thank you for clarifying
It's a
that.
service. It's actually a service. It's not a salary.
contract for a
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That is true. I will say that, we're getting ready to do a bunch of events. It's a good thing. Who would have ever thought that Halloween Town would bring this much controversy? Really? I mean, that everybody will want to be so passionately either disinvolved or involved. So it's kind of a strange phenomenon in both spectrums. October 6th, the Chamber is doing a parade at 6 o'clock, sponsored by American Family. And then on the 13th will be the Halloween Town actors and actresses are showing up. I think we need to state that. I will keep you more informed on my next meeting on what's going on the following 2 weekends. So that's the highlights, but there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of activities. There's a big schedule. Go to Discover Columbia County and look at the schedule.
The Chronicle did
Yeah.
print a
Yes.
hard
They
copy
did.
of
Yep,
the
yep,
schedule.
yep.
There's a big pullout from the Chronicle. that
Yes,
the
so
schedule
that is
available.
correct too. That is correct.
They
as
did a
well.
big
Yep.
pullout, and they've done the big pullout every year we've done it.
And they sponsored the Little Spooks Parade.
Yeah.
And we're also trying to get some industrial property developed too, eventually when we find some money. Maybe if we can sell some property over there, then we can turn it back into itself and develop some industrial property. The first chunk the city's ever owned. We don't bring in an industry. We don't own that land. We do finally own a chunk of land that is industrial property with rolling rock and very hard to develop. But we are moving forward on that as well. We are doing a lot as a city. For people that don't know, they don't know because they don't ever come down here. We're doing this right out in the public, the whole thing. So I've met with CSET, and he said, get it ready, get it developable. That's why you've had 4 different industries come in and not want to do anything here. And we finally got one, and hopefully that's still going to continue to go through. It's a purchase agreement, but it's going to allow us the ability to put the money back into the 204 acres and put infrastructure in. So I'm hoping that goes through, and it looks like it is. So pretty good meeting tonight. I'm feeling pretty good. Any other visitor comments? Okay. Seeing no other visitor comments. Ordinance, final reading. Ordinance number 3223, an ordinance establishing the comprehensive sewer use ordinance for users of the City of St. Helens Publicly Owned Treatment Works, or POTW, to comply with federal and state environmental regulations.
Move we adopt resolution number 1829. Oops, I'm sorry.
Nope,
Yep.
wrong.
3233.
Yep.
Second.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to approve ordinance number 3233. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Resolution number 1829, a resolution adopting the universal fee schedule and superseding resolution number 1826.
Move
Move
it.
you,
Go ahead.
move you approve resolution 1829 as read.
Second.
Okay, a motion has been made and seconded to approve resolution number 1829. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, award bid contracts. A, Emery and Son Construction Group LLC for South 10th Street Storm Pump Station reroute project in the amount of $576,000, 862. Let me reread that. In the amount of $576,862.
Yep.
Yep. And then Pape Machinery for John Deere 310 SL HL backhoe loader in the amount of $134,346.56. And then Northside Ford Truck Sales Inc. for a small pickup purchased in the amount of $25,328.23. And D, SD Contractors Inc. for 2018-19 asphalt patching project in the amount of $15,804.50.
Move we award the bids and contracts in 6A through D as presented.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, I got to ask Matt. I said, why are these contracts? How come they go 134,346 and 56 pennies? Where'd those 56 pennies come from? Why can't we round that off like the IRS does and like we do our taxes?
This one is not my monkey. You're going to have to talk to Sue.
But what's the deal on that?
So this particular item is from a multi-state bid process, and so we have to go with what that contract specifically says. So what the 56 cents is for,
Since
I
I'm a
don't know, a button on the
Right.
dashboard or something.
Since I'm the stickler on the budget guy on the council, and I want to ask Matt that by the time it goes from here to you, do you drop the 23 cents and add 00? And if it's 56 cents, do you take it up to the upper dollar? What do you, I mean,
If you would like to direct me to cut a check for $134, $347, or $346 and see if we see what happens,
They'll probably send back a check. They'll probably
accumulate a
send back
little
a check
bit
for
of
44 cents.
activity tonight. We've been short on it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay. A motion's been made and seconded to award bid contracts A through D. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, approve and authorize for signature. A, intergovernment agreement with St. Helens School District for mutual use of each party's properties and facilities. B, findings of fact and collusion of law for the conditional use establishing a marijuana retail medical marijuana dispensary on 100 St. Helens Street. And C, contract payments.
Move we approve and authorize for signature 7A through C.
Second.
Okay, a motion's been made and seconded to approve 7A through C. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. Okay, consent agenda for acceptance. A, Arts and Cultural Commission dated August 28, 2018. B, Library Board minutes dated August 23rd, 2018.
I move we accept consent agenda 8, A through B as read.
Second.
Okay, a motion's been made and seconded to approve consent agenda 8A and B as read. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. Okay, consent agenda for approval. Council work session, executive session, and regular sessions minutes dated September 5th, 2018. B, street closures for Halloween parade on October 6th, 2018. And street closures for Little Spruik Parade on October 27th, 2018. DOLCC licenses.
Move we approve consent agenda for approval A through D as read.
Second.
Okay, a motion's been made and seconded to approve consent agenda A through D. All in favor? Aye. Okay, so a few things to report on. We did get today, I got a call from Susan Bonamucci congratulating us. We got a community block grant for the food bank, the hard work of Jenny Dismo. She was able to write up a beautiful grant and it got accepted. So the feed store will get a renovation. The food bank was 2,500 square foot. They are moving into a 12,500 square foot building, and we've got a community block grant of $1.5 million given to that project. That was a very good phone call from Susan Bonamucci. So, and we had Casey Wheeler here earlier giving a little bit of presentation, so to speak, or acceptance and talking it up in our work session. So, and then again, I got written down here, meet the developer on October 17th at 6 p.m. And I already plugged those too. So the chamber parade is at 6 on October 6th. Starts up at the chambers. Chamber of Commerce comes all the way down through town. If you'd like to participate, I don't think it's too late. Check with American Family or the chamber. And then actors and actresses will be here on the 13th of October. And there's a big, long schedule on Discover Columbia County. That's all I have to report on. But that block grant was very huge. Oh, I did go to the League of Oregon Cities, and we talked about a number of issues. And affordable housing is highly talked about all across the board. So we actually asked the League to kind of go back to the Senate and the House and represent us, not just us, but all the cities on looking into affordable housing. By the time you buy the dirt and you develop, is it really affordable? Because then you got to buy the material. You're looking at $100 a square foot just to build after that. So we're hoping that we can get some help from the state.
I can piggyback on that.
Okay, Doug says he can piggyback right off of that, so I'm going to kick it over to Council President Morton.
Okay, I was at the League of Oregon Cities conference as well, and we had a lot of talk on what the legislative priorities are for our league as they petition our state senate and our representatives to go forward and with their list of priorities. And this is what we ended up with. First was property tax reform. That was first on one of the most popular areas that the league voted on. And by the way, the league has 8,400 and some members in it throughout the state of Oregon, and this body's well represented with that. So there was one property tax reform. The second, like the mayor was talking, is affordable housing. The third and very important issue is PERS reform. And the fourth is, this is interesting because it's developing partnerships. And if there's any city that deals with partnerships, it's this one. It seems like we have developed so many partnerships with school districts, with our outside private industry and our private businesses and our service groups, education. It's all over, and there's a long list of those partnerships that we've established, and I think they're very important because that's how you get things done, and that's how you work as a team. Then the fifth one was transportation and infrastructure. We've just recently have received $200,000 in grants for planning our corridor plan and our connector plan in terms of transportation. So we're on task there, but there's more to work with, and with our people who are representing these concerns in the state legislature. And then the last one is connectivity, and the connectivity in terms of not only transportation but infrastructure between municipalities. Are we talking to Scappoose and are we talking to Columbia City? Of course we are. And we're trying to deal with any kinds of things in terms of teaming that we can with infrastructure, with water, with sewer, with so many other kinds of concerns. So that's kind of my report from the League of Oregon City, and I thought I'd just piggyback on that because you started talking about
was great.
affordable housing.
And don't forget the county and the port. We also work with
Oh,
them
yeah.
too.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yes.
Exactly.
They're the port's major on industry around here. So.
Exactly.
And they got some good things going.
And
I
if-
support them.
A couple of things I spent the entire day about our urban renewal and working in different workshops with that. Was a myriad of issues that I learned, and it was refreshing for me. One of the things that it was stressed mostly is once we form our urban renewal group, which we already have, that communication is the big key. The big thing about most urban renewals is that the communication breaks down. And I think we're doing the right thing because we started with, in our urban renewal, we started with the group that of how we would compose our urban renewal, and we started with this group right here. Where the city council's the one that will be in charge and manage that from the get-go. It can expand. So I asked the question down in Salem, what happens if we expand? What are the good effects? What are the bad effects? Well, a lot of times when urban renewals get into 12 and 15 people on their board, communication breaks down, interfighting kind of starts to happen, and a lot of times it becomes stagnant. So the thought, when this was from Mike Duck, he was a fire chief at Tualatin Valley Rescue, he says, keep it simple. Just keep it simple and keep as few as people on that board as you possibly can, and make certain the city council has their thumb on it and they know what's going on. So that's my report from the urban renewal district, and to me it was very informative. There was so much on that. I mean, I'd bog everyone down talking about it. So, but that was the main takeaway. Okay. Good.
So Doug had double booked, and he had the U of O booked at the same time, so I took his spot at that one.
Oh yeah.
Susan?
Forgot to say that. I gave
Well-
my thing to him because I needed to stay on the urban renewal thing.
So I think I covered most of my report this afternoon with all of my go-backs. But I didn't attend League of Oregon Cities this year, but I will be going to the CIT conference next week. So you'll get to hear me report on that then. Next meeting.
Look forward to it. Okay. Councilor Carlson.
Just first, I just wanted to thank the folks for participating, Mr. Mewson students and citizens, for coming and sharing their ideas and their concerns and being just engaging in the civil process. That's the best part about doing this job, is hearing what is having more people on the team. And I just, the council, I think I can speak for everybody, that we welcome people to share those ideas and work together for the kids to be safe, for us to have nice neighborhoods to grow up in. That's all we all want. And it's just when people can come in and share those ideas, it just really makes the process better, and we can end up with better outcomes when we're all on the same side. So I just want to make sure I point that out. I did cover most everything earlier. The other thing on this, I do the teen council, and they're participating in the fall festival this weekend. They're doing fundraisers. They're selling reflectors for kids' backpacks, keep kids safe going back and forth to school. They'll be at fall festival. They'll be at the Recreation Bazaar in November, and the formerly Toy and Joy Bazaar in December. That's in Columbia City. And they're also going to be participating with the police department for Donut Day and the Christmas Ships Captain's Dinner. So we look forward to inviting other teens to come and participate in that. It's a great way to get volunteer hours, great way to participate, get to know how your government works. Pretty low commitment, I understand a lot of kids have jobs and have sports and have other things they need to do, but we always appreciate when we can work together as much as we can. Which one? Teen Council meets every other Monday. They met this past Monday. They'll meet again on the 15th at 7 o'clock. But this coming weekend, they'll be at St. Frederick's which is the Catholic church up by the police station, selling reflectors.
Did-
Yeah, this weekend. So in the past, they had been selling them to make money, and the council had a conversation. They said, what is our point? Is our point to make money, or is our point to make kids safe? And they said, we really want these reflectors to be on kids' backpacks, because sitting in boxes in our closet, they are not making kids safe. So at this point, they're essentially selling them at what they paid for them, because they'd like to see every kid be safe going back and forth to school. So in the past, they've sold them for $4 and $5, and I think they're going to be $2.50 a piece this weekend. So it'll be the lowest price they've ever been. That's essentially what they paid for them when they came to them. So they just want to make sure, and they have lots of little cute Halloween designs if that's important.
Jenny, you said something about former Toy and Joy. Has there been a change there?
Toy and Joy is doing a different fundraiser this year. They were at the Armory last year, and what I've heard from one of our
That's the Toy
secretary,
and Joy is held out at the fairgrounds every
the
year.
Toy and Joy has in the past done a bazaar
Oh, okay.
for a fundraiser.
Oh, so this is just
They are not doing
additional.
that this year.
Okay.
They're still going to do a bazaar, but it's going to be under a different thing in Columbia City. So, but the point is that the kids are going to be selling reflectors, so you'll see them out and about. They have matching shirts and everything, and they'll be out and about serving the community. And it's just been really fun to do this process. Some of the kids that are in it have started in 6th grade and are now freshmen in high school, and now they're speaking up and advocating for themselves and for their community, and it's really nice change to see happen.
Yep.
And that's all I have.
They also, don't they put on the dance?
They have put the dance on hiatus this year because they don't want
Okay.
to conflict. Rec program is doing teen nights in November, and they think that with all the things that happened at the high school, they've tried in the past to compete with homecoming, and they thought maybe just let homecoming be homecoming and participate in the teen nights and the rec program and look at the spring. Maybe we can look at
That's
summer
right.
this
Go Lions. It
Yeah.
is homecoming week.
Yeah, we want to
Yep.
support the school events as much as we can.
Yep. Okay. Councillor Locke.
So I've talked about Cascades Tissue, our tenant, before and whatnot, but I just want you guys, I know you haven't been over there in a while, so I would say that either go over there individually or take a tour and go over there and see if they're living up to our expectations as tenants or not. That's all I got.
Okay. Appreciate that. Chief Greenway.
Mr. Mayor, I have nothing more to report from this afternoon.
Okay. Sue?
Since we have some young people in the audience here this afternoon, the Columbia County Traffic Safety Commission is looking for young members to participate. It's a group that focuses on safety concerns, mostly along Highway 30 in Columbia County. We are looking for somebody that would maybe want to help the group focus on education, driver's ed, and just getting safety messages out to the younger group. So if anybody here may be interested in that, or knows of anybody that may be interested in traffic safety, driver's education, safety related issues, please either contact me, Sue Nelson, or call the city and someone can get a hold of me. Email me. I'm on the website, but we can certainly hook you up. It's a group that meets once a month on the first Wednesday at 7 o'clock in the morning, usually at an establishment that offers food. So if anybody wants to participate, I would be happy to buy you breakfast. Just a little bribe.
Yep.
But anybody here that would be interested or know anybody, I would be very, very happy to hear from you. That's all I have.
All right.
Thanks.
Neil.
I have nothing tonight.
Nothing
Margaret. Matt. Kathy. I know John's probably got something.
We got our attorney here.
Yeah.
To speak.
I think he's here for us later. Yeah.
No,
Okay. Right.
Are you
Yeah, John.
tapping
Yep.
me?
Yeah, I'm
You're up.
tapping you.
So yeah, kind of a fun thing. In between the afternoon work session and the meeting, I had a visit from people out of the governor's office and Department of Environmental Quality, Department of State Lands, and a communications person that works with all those agencies, and
Cool.
stopped to visit and orientate on our waterfront project. And they took on the Halloween toured around Halloween, and we took one of the introductory ride on the Alien Experience. At the end of the, end of the plaza. So I took them on the tractor, and the thing went down at the end, and put them in the container, and turned on the cameras, and did the whole thing, and they just loved it. It was really fun. But I think that just kind of speaks to the net positive that comes out of what we've made Halloween into over the last few years. I mean, it really is a net positive to the community. I think, we get focused on some of these distractions, but what it does for the city's revenue model isn't to make as much money as we can. It's to recover our costs, keep the event sustainable, enjoyable, and to support your local businesses, our service clubs, the quanta, everybody that plugs in and comes here to experience that. And when you put that into scale, like Mount Angel, for experience, does Oktoberfest every year for a weekend. And that's how they fund all their nonprofits for their community. But if you can imagine that times all of they don't do it the whole month, so it's a magnitude of scale right there. There's a lot of work that goes into it, and it's a lot of heavy lifting. And I meant to report earlier that it just doesn't happen by itself. It doesn't happen just with our event planner. It's, Public Works is integral to this. Public Safety is integral to this. All the partners in the county. It really takes, a community to bring this thing to life, and we should all be proud of ourselves. So, that's it.
Okay, we're adjourned.
No, that's good advice.
You might announce what we're going to do?